3, 2, 1. Hi everybody, welcome to part 3 of our HD GIF collage, where we begin to make our second, more advanced GIF collage. So for part 1 and 2, we were inspired by what we made in our intro to animation project number 4. We are going to jump back to project 2, our Photoshop poster, to be inspired by the next one. Specifically, the product that you made at the end of part 2, which was your PNG poster before you flipped it. So what we're gonna do is I want all of you to go back to project 2. You can kind of refresh on the video if you wanted to, but what you should have saved, you should have 3 images saved. For part 1, you should have your border saved. For part 2, you should have your empty PNG image, just like all of these. And then for part 5, you should have had the final product. What I want you to do now is we are going to be inspired and we are going to be recreating that part 2. So all these single images where you brought all your PNGs and you made it before you flipped it, that's what we're going to try to do now. So we are going to do that in Google Images. Now, obviously, it's a lot harder to find GIFs than it is to find still images, so it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to try our best. So to start things off, what we need to do is we go into Google Slides, just like for part 1 of this assignment. We're going to click in blank. What we want to do first is we want to left click on the blue line and delete these. And we can turn off those themes. We can drag down the speaker notes so we have as much canvas as possible. And now what we need to do is get tricky. So we're going to do HD Collage 2 poster. So what makes this a little more unique is that we are going to change this to the same resolution of your iPad background. So we're going to left click on File and we are going to go down to Page Setup. Left click on it. We're going to click on the arrows here and we're going to go to Custom. We're going to change inches to pixels. And now what we are going to do is, if we jump back over to our Photoshop poster, we want the width to be 1536 and the height to be 248. So typing that in, if we do 1536 248, click OK. It's going to change our canvas to the same resolution of our old project. So you can, if you need to, bring in a few still images, but for your HD collage project, I want you to make sure that you're trying to bring in GIFs as much as possible. So I'm going to use this as an example. I see this kind of Pokemon setup here. Now you might not be able to find GIFs for all these Pokemon because they're kind of somewhat more obscure, but for some of them we definitely can, like the Mewtwo. So for example, I've started to put this together. What I want to do is bring in my GIFs. So if I were searching for a GIF, I can go through, try to find somebody cool. Just bring that in just like we were doing on the last one. Now, sometimes you want to do a color shift or kind of move it around. Sometimes if you want to play with layers, remember you hold down Control and Tab up and down to kind of put it behind. If I do a Control C, Control V to paste it, move it over here. Hold down Control, put it behind again. Maybe I'm going to right click and do a rotate flip horizontally. I could also, if I have it selected, do a format options. That's what I did with the Mewtwo up here to make it black and white. So what I need you to do is do your absolute best to fill up this page and recreate whichever project you made for part 2. Get creative if you can't find something that looks exactly like the images you were using. So for example, on this one, right, there's an owl face and a body. While you might not be able to find that GIF, you might be able to find an owl face and a small body. And you could combine those GIFs to make something that looks like what you wanted to get. So I want people to start thinking about how you can combine GIFs, how layers interact, and how we're putting all this together. For part 2, I'm very excited to see what you make. Have a great one. Bye.